Pokemon has more than one great player. Adrenaline in my soul, every thought out of control. Throw it on to get them off their feet. The crowd is here, want to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtains, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa. And my father said, when I was younger, hard times bring better men. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sammy Ketchum, and welcome back to Sammy Ketchum TCG. Today, we are going to be talking about, let me take these things off. We are going to be talking about my Orlando Regionals experience. This past weekend, I went to the Orlando Regionals in Orlando, Florida, and I made my first day two. My first day two. All right. I've been playing this game for a very long time, and I've been trying to do well, trying to make my footprint in Pokemon, and finally, I get to this point, where I get to this point where it's like, yes, I am a decent player. Yes, I am, what I say I am. I'm just not all talk. I'm not a meme. I'm not just some person wearing, crazy clothes, all the stuff and risen up people. I'm actually a decent player. And this weekend showed that, not only did I make my first day two, I did it wearing a Charizard costume. Yes, I wore a Charizard costume day one and day two of Orlando Regionals, and I was freaking rocking out and playing some of the best Pokemon anybody has ever seen. But yeah, it was an amazing experience, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was just a great event. I guess let me start by talking about this event. So, I get there on Friday. I get down there Friday, good enough time, to get there for the tournament. Friday is basically the pre-day, the day you come in, you come to the venue to get your swag, playing some side events, check out the venue, see where you're going to be playing at, meet some people, get some of the cards you need for decks if you don't have them yet from the vendors. But really just get settled in on that Friday. So that's what I did. But on my side of things, I got there on Friday so early. Yeah, I got into Orlando at like 8-9 o'clock. So I was there super early, super early before the event even opened. Super early, even before my Airbnb check-in was to be had. So I really couldn't go. I really couldn't bring my stuff to my Airbnb place. So, and the venue, well, the Pokemon venue wasn't open. The convention center was open, but the venue wasn't open. If that makes any sense. The venue wasn't open. The place where all the vendors, all the tables, the tournament hall wasn't going to be open until 1 o'clock on Friday. So I got down to the convention center early, and I literally just waited. Until it opened. Waited until it opened. Well, I got my badge. I got my badge, registered for my badge, and then the venue opened at 1, got to the venue. The first thing I did was I walked by the Dark Side Gaming booth, which I'm wearing their shirt right now. Shout out to Dark Side Games, man. They were a rock star all weekend. But first thing I did was I went by their booth, and I was actually going to get some of the dual spec sleeves. Well, these sleeves, these dual specs. These were these were actually a second pack of sleeves that I had already have. See, I already have dual spec sleeves on my deck, and I wanted a second pair, just in case something happened, or if I had to change the whole deck, I wanted a second pair of orange sleeves to go with these. But these were absolutely fine. I actually got these sleeves at the beginning of the week, and I ordered them off the TC Evolutions website. Also, shout out to TC Evolutions, which their products are their dice and ability markers are always the best and top notch. But I ordered the dual specs from them on their website. Well, the ones I have here. But TC Evolutions also, them and the people who were running dual specs were bringing sleeves by and damage counters and markers for Dark Side Gamings to sell to the mass of everyone there. So all of them coming together, working together to basically get the players the supplies they need, the best supplies they need for the tournament. I just think that is great. I just think that is great. So I went to go pick me up these sleeves, but they haven't gotten here yet. They haven't gotten there yet. And so, because, well, I guess their plane was delayed or whatever, and they hadn't gotten into town yet. So, so I had to wait a little bit before I could come back and get these. So later on that Friday, I came back and picked them up, and talked to the crew at Dark Side, chatted with them, etc. about, me coming, whatever, they're really good people. So, I also met one of my Twitter friends who also works for Dark Side Gaming, a really great person too. So, shout outs to them. But yeah, I did that. I also wanted to get a third Iono. This Iono is from the Iono Tournament Premium Collection. I already had two, but I wanted a third one. And no one had single copies of this card because this was because this is like the hottest item of the weekend. Like this literally just came out last weekend. Well, the last 2 weekends. But this was hot. But nobody has singles of it. And the single card copy is going for like 20 bucks, 20 something bucks. And I wanted to get the single copy rather than buying the whole milk carton for like 40. You know, but, you know, as I walked around the convention center and walked around and saw like all of the vendors and stuff, I asked them, hey, do you guys have the single copy of Iono or whatever? They were like, no, we're sold out. We don't have it. Sorry, that card's really hot. It got gone like that, you know, etc., etc. So I was like, okay, let me see if somebody around here has the milk carton. Yes, I call it a milk carton, and that's what it's basically shaped like, a milk carton. So somebody did. They actually had 2. I was just like, I just want 1 because I already have 2 and I only played 3 in my deck. So I just wanted 1 and didn't want to shell out 80 bucks for 2. So I just took the 1. And I got that, put it in my deck. And now my deck is 3 full art Ionos. You know, it's looking good. So I did that. And then I went to play in side events Friday. Went to play in side events. And now usually when I play in side events Friday, I'll play in a couple of winner boxes, or I'll play in a couple of 4-man pods, maybe pick up some side event tickets, get some stuff off the prize wall and call it a day. I didn't do that this time. This time I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew exactly what I wanted to enter, and I entered 3 events. I entered 3 side events. First side event I entered was the get the Charizard mat side event where you pay 8 tickets. Where you pay 8 tickets, and then you get the Charizard mat, but you also, play like a 4-man pod, and you play for side event tickets. So you also get side event tickets for each win, and at the end you get the mat. So I did that, and honestly, I really didn't care about my record in the 4-man pod. I mean, I was playing, but I think only won like 1 game in this one. And I was like, I don't even care. I just want the mat. It's fun talking to y'all. It's fun meeting y'all. I did meet some really cool people playing in the side events, but like, I just wanted the stuff. So I did that. I played for the mat. That was the first thing I did. And I got my mat for the event because I purposely left my mat at home because I knew that I was going to enter a side event and get this. So this was going to be my mat. And even though, yes, you get a mat for the entry or whatever, but I was just like, I don't want that mat. As soon as I get that mat or whatever, I'm basically selling it to a vendor. And then they can sell it and do whatever they want to do with it. This is the mat I want to play on. This is the mat that I actually want. Now, in order to cut the cost for me getting this mat with the 8 tickets, when I did my, before this weekend, about like a week or 2 ago, I actually, after I purchased my entry, I went back and got the stage 1 package where you get the t-shirt and two side event tickets. So I took the 2 side event tickets from the stage 1 package, and then 6 more tickets you know, to kind of help with the cost of getting this mat. Made like 8 tickets, and boom, you know, I got my mat, you know. So that kind of helped there. The second one I entered was the Get a Dice. Get a Dice side event. Same thing, 4-man pod, and I got this cool event dice. I don't know if I can see that. There we go. Yeah, I got this cool event dice. I wanted the dice, you know, memorabilia to keep it, you know, and then this event is probably the most memorable event that I've ever been to. So I'm glad I have this dice now. But yeah, and then the last event I entered was to get a patch, you know, get the Orlando patch. You know, again, 4-man TCG pod, you know, played or whatever. And in this pod, I actually won the pod. I, you know, literally won all my games, and I got the patch. So I got more side event tickets and the patch. You know, so that was actually good. The patch is actually on my traveling backpack right now. So I actually, you know, can't show it, but you know, I wanted to basically brand it and put it on my backpack, which I did as soon as I finished my games. I was just like, stick it on. I'm here. But yeah, that was fun. You know, hung around, talked to some people on Friday, but you know, that was really it. All right, Saturday. Saturday, oh my God. I made the decision early in the morning that I was going to wear the Charizard suit. Well, actually, no, Friday night. Because when I went to the venue, it was cold. It was cold. It was a little chilly in the venue. And I thought to myself, I was like, it's a little cold in the venue. I didn't bring like a long sleeve shirt or anything. I just brought t-shirts and shorts. You know, so I was just like, it actually would make sense if I wear the Charizard outfit, you know, because not only, you know, yes, I'll wear it, it'll be fun to wear, you know, but it will also keep me warm, and I won't be freezing like everybody else in the whole entire building. I won't be freezing, man. One thing you notice about me is that I never freeze. Sorry, I had to use that line. It was just a great line. Oh, I thought that was good. But yeah, so I decided to wear that, and I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did. Came in there Saturday, and I literally had my shades on all day, and I was rocking like a champ, and people loved it, man. I got compliments from everyone, you know, saying, you know, hey, great suit, man, we love it. It's like, what are you playing? You better be playing Charizard, you know, and like smiles everywhere. Everybody loved it. Like, thing about it is that I was getting compliments on my Charizard outfit, but people really didn't recognize it was actually me until they actually got close. Like, wait, is that Sammy? Sammy? Oh my God, bro, what's up? What's going on? And then and then it became just like, you know, hey, it's Sammy. You know, it's like, and he's wearing the Charizard costume, bro. It was just like, it's fire. And I was just like, You know, I was really just in the moment. I was loving it, and 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 I am so glad I did, because like I was kind of regretting it. I was kind of like, you know, how will it be accepted? Am I just gonna be a meme? Are people gonna laugh at me or what? But I'm really glad I did. And honestly, I had misgivings, because I was like, am I gonna be able to play cards in this thing? Am I gonna be able to see out of the shades while I'm playing? You know, um, and what about going to the bathroom? How am I gonna pee in this thing? That was the big question, how I was gonna pee. But I actually handled it really well. What I did was, before my games, I kind of set a little rule in place. Like every 2 to 3 rounds, I would use the bathroom. Every 2 to 3 rounds, after my match was over, I would go to the bathroom and use it. Especially since I had coffee, beforehand. I was like, okay, after round 2 or maybe round 3, I'll head to the bathroom and use the bathroom and see if I got to go. And literally after round 2, it literally worked out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna head, just to make sure. I mean, I felt it a little bit, but I felt it a little bit. It wasn't like a big feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, let's run to the bathroom right now. It was just like, okay, it's a good time to go, let's go. And so I did, and I was right. I timed it right, and boom, took off the suit, did what I had to do, put it back on, and came right back out. Boom, played like 2-3 more rounds, did it again, boom, boom. But so I had like a system in place, so that, I wouldn't be like peeing in a costume and then it's all wet and I'm all like embarrassed. I didn't have a change of clothes at all. So if something like that happened, I would have been destroyed. I probably would have had to leave the venue. I would have been destroyed. So I'm glad I had like some type of system in place, for that. My games, my rounds were great. My opponents were great. I really can't say enough about it. My tournament run was great. Delphox V was amazing. Delphox V was amazing. This card single-handedly saved me so many times. This card literally turns most of my bad matchups into decent or favorable matchups. Like everything that I set out to do, I did it with this card. Against Arc Tina, against Lost Zone Tina, also against Lugia. This card was a champ. Like, this basically takes the Lugia matchup and makes it favorable. Being able to snipe off the Chincinos off the bench is amazing. Take out their big attackers. And then Lugia really can't hit it unless they attach 4, special energies other than the double turbo to it in order to knock this out. But yeah, I tore Lugia to shreds with this. Tore Lugia to shreds with this. I literally beat a Lost Zone Giratina and an Arctina day one with this card. Um, did what it said it was gonna do. I took out Iron Leaves and another Pokemon on the bench. This card actually was the thing that got me to day two. In my last round, I hit an Iron Leaves and a damaged Arceus V-Star on the bench for 4 prizes. Took my last 4 prizes and literally sealed my 6th win to make me 6-1 to get me into day 2. Round 8. This was literally the card that got me there. I'm like I am so happy. I played with this and got there with this. This build was different than Torad's build. It was different than the TM Evolution build. Different than the Control build. You know. But this is what got me. This is what got me there. And I'm so happy I did. I'm so happy I did. I have no regrets. I have no regrets. I met great people all day. Day one. I met Tord Reklev, the best player in the game right now. I also met Wolfie Glick day one before he went and basically before he won the tournament in day 2, you know. And I just think that was just great. I meet Wolfie day 1 and then he goes and wins the VG championship the next day, and I watch him on stream, you know, day 2, and it was just like, oh my God. I was just like, I just met this dude. I was just like, and he's killing it. I was just like, yes. I was just like, okay, you know, that just felt so good, you know. But yeah, I met so many great people, took so many great pictures of people day 1 and day 2. Day 2, I met Frosted Caribou, Shelby Boo. She's an amazing person, nice person, great person. I'm telling you, Pokemon has some of the best people, some of the best heroes, some of the best influencers, commentators probably in the world. Because like most of these people, you know, mostly everybody is chill, everybody's nice, everybody's great. So when they say, like, there's a saying that that you shouldn't meet your heroes because some of your heroes aren't nice, or some, you know, never meet your heroes because they're not nice or whatever, or never meet celebrities or whatever. But that's not true for Pokemon. Go ahead, meet your heroes, meet the people that, you know, inspire you, meet the people that, you know, that you know you want to see, because these people are great. This community is great. This community is so great. So I definitely say, go meet them. Go meet them. You will not be disappointed. Now, I mean, when I say go meet them, you know what I'm saying, don't go crazy and be like, oh my God, ah! You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, be a decent person, okay? When you meet these people, be a decent person. You know what I'm saying? Don't go up to them all crazy or whatever or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Be a decent person. Be like, hi, you know, how are you? You know, I admire you, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You know, just be a decent human being. And you know, and they'll greet you with the same, you know, and you can have a nice little chat or whatever with them and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And in the back of your mind, you could be like, in the back of your mind, you could be like, oh my God, you could like, you know, scream, you know, at the top of your lungs or whatever. But, you know, when you meet them, just kind of be like, hey, you know, whatever, blah, 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 yada, yada, you know. But yeah, you know, just, you know, do that and don't be crazy. and you'll have a great experience, you know. So that's my advice if you want to meet some of your Pokemon heroes or, you know, admirers or whatever, or any of the influencers, you know, or whatnot. But yeah, this whole community is so great. It's so nice. When I did finally ID and make day 2, you know, I was so happy. It was so in the moment. I literally popped off, and I just couldn't contain myself any longer. And I cheered, I screamed. I was like, woo! And it was such a great moment. Everybody cheered for me. Everybody was clapping, you know, getting high fives from Zach Lashaz, people of the Shuffle Squad. It was just such a great moment, and I'm you know, and I'm just really glad it was, because like usually when people make day 2, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just like, oh yeah, you make day 2, sign the slip, you know, whatever, and then you go on about your night. You know, this was not like that. This was just, you know, just so much different, and I couldn't contain myself, and I went for it, and it was amazing. You know. So I really, really am glad, because I love this Pokemon community, and they were so great, and everybody who I talked to was really great. Even in day 2, everybody was really great. Now day 2 was rough. Day 2 was rough for me. I only won one game in day 2. One game, I won one game, and then I tied my last game. And I really could have won my last game too, if we didn't go to time. But I beat Chien-Pao my first game, you know, which everybody says, oh, Chien-Pao beats Charizard. I was like, oh. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think I beat one day 1 too. So yeah, I beat Chien-Pao. But nice player, great player. He already had his invite too, so, which was really cool. And then I proceeded to lose. I proceeded to lose the rest of my games until my last match. So 11, 12, 13, 14, like it just went pew. My deck just said, okay, we're just gonna shut down now. Like decks that I know that I can beat, I lost to. I lost to an Arctina deck that just, you know, got set up and got the nuts. His judge basically crippled me. His judge crippled me early. My setup wasn't the greatest either, so that didn't help, you know, and they just literally took me out of the game, you know, and I was just like, okay, so this is how I lose this game. Even though I have answers in my deck that help me against the Arceus Giratina matchup. You know, like if they get off that disruption and you're not able to set up like you need to, yeah, you're gonna lose like you're supposed to. I also lost against a control Zard deck. Yes, I said control Zard, not Zard control, because this deck was really a control deck. I it wanted to be a control deck. I'm just like, if you want to play control, just play control. You know what I'm saying? Like, pick a deck. Just pick a deck. Like, when we started playing, I didn't know what I was facing until 3-4 turns in, and I'm like, wait, this is a Zard deck? I'm like, is this control or is this Zard? I'm just like, you know, he opens Rotom, he opens Pidgeot, and I didn't really see like what he was playing. You know, like oh, I was like, oh, it must be control. Wait a minute, I see fire energy. I'm like, wait, is he playing Chi-Yu in here? And I was like, wait, it's a Zard deck? I'm like, the hell is going on? You know, like I really did not know what he was playing. You know, he was playing Eerie and all these control cards, and then he had the Regieleki. And then when I saw the Regieleki, I was like, oh, it's Control Zard. Because I was literally writing on my my notepad, you know, like what deck I was facing, what's in my prizes, etc., whatever. And at first I wrote Control. You know, I was like, okay, you know, and then I'm like, from that moment I was like, okay, let's try to plan how to, you know, how can I navigate this? And then I see Charmander's drop down. I'm like, wait, this is Zard? And then I like scribble that out and I'm like, Zard, wait a minute, Zard Control. Because like, I was just like, I was really baffled, and it really just threw me for a loop. And the one thing that messed me up is that I won the coin flip, so naturally I want to go second. So I said, okay, I'll go second, you know, which you do not want to do against Control or Control Zard. You don't want to go second, because they will go first. They will get down their Pidgeys or whatever, their Rotoms or Charmanders or whatever, or even in Control, they'll get down their stuff and they'll go first. And there's a reason why they want to go first, because if they go first, you know, and get, you know, down their Pidgeys or whatever and stuff, well, getting down Pidgey is what they want to do, because the next turn they'll evolve the Pidgeot, and now they're able to go through their deck and get any card that they want, any supporter that they want. So they'll do that, and they'll get Airy. And if you go second against them, and you know, you get your setup, you do whatever, and you play your Rotom or you play your Cleffa, and you draw cards, and you got like this massive amount of cards in your hand, you're sitting there with like rare candies and stuff in your hand, waiting on the next turn, and they've already went first, they've already set up, and now they go rare candy Pidgeot, go search for the Airy, and take, you know, at least 1 to 2 candies right out of your hand, so you can't evolve your Pokemon. And they just rip your soul in half. You know, so, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that going in, and I paid for it. Game 1 and Game 2, I went second. I didn't really realize it until I got back to my room that night, and I was like, crap, I should have went first, so I could at least have a chance to play my rare candies. You know, at least at least those, before they start on their before they start, on their, go search their deck for any card or anything. Search for the Regieleki, attach energy, get devolution back, hit devolution again. I really should have done that. Another thing I could have done is that I should have went after the Pidgeot. I should have went after the Pidgey or the Pidgeot and knock them out and get them gone as soon as possible. Keep them from getting cards from their deck to control you. And I didn't know how to play against that matchup, and it showed. And the thing about it is that when he did it, I was like, you know what? You want it this bad, you got it. You got it. You got it, bro. I was like, look, I just made my first day too. I don't really even care. I don't really even care, about, making it that far. I mean, I do, but it's just like, I'm just here for the experience, this is my first day too. I don't expect to basically win the whole event. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here, soaking everything up, So I literally was like, you know what, bro? You got it. You got it. Here, you can have it. Go ahead. Try to make top 8 with your control Zard deck. But now I kind of know how to play, how I can play against it a little bit. But yeah, I took hard losses in day 2. Day 2 is rough. And in my last game, I played against a Lugia. Man, let me tell you, Delphox tore that Lugia to shreds. Delphox tore that Lugia to shreds. I'm telling you, Delphox went in like a wrecking ball, and I literally just sniped the heck out of them. Not once in game 1, twice. I got this sucker off twice. She scooped so fast in game 1. Game 2 went a little differently. She won game 2. Shout out to my round 15 opponent, Lexi. A great person. Great opponent, great to talk to. Also, shout out to Girl Power TCG. They were doing great things all weekend, so shout out to them. But yeah, Delphox tore her to shreds. I'm not even gonna lie, Delphox tore her to shreds. But she won game 2, and then we went to game 3. We really didn't have time to play game 3 because they called time, and she wanted to basically just say, you want to tie? And at first I was just like, I didn't want to tie because I wanted to see how everything was going to go. I wanted to see if I could at least take, 2, 3, 4 more prizes. Maybe I could get there. But, as I drew my card, for my, turn 1 in time, I looked and I was just like, I checked my deck, I guess with a deck search or something, and my Delphox was prized. My Delphox was prized, and I was just like, oh man. I was just like, I was just like, man. I was just like, I was about to crush you at Delphox again and take 2, 3 more prizes and try to keep it going. But I was just like, I can't. There's no way that I could take all my prizes in time. So I was like, you know what? I was like, let's call it a tie. We shake hands, and we both feel better about playing. We were both just there enjoying the experience, and we just had fun. So I'm really, really glad I got to play, and I got to experience day 2. After that, I went and got something to eat. I was just like, went and got something to eat. The top 8 was going to get underway. So I grabbed something to eat, out of, convention food or whatever, high price convention food. But still, it's great food. It's decent food. Came back and watched watched a little bit of the VGC and the TCG streams, which were amazing. VGC, freaking Wolfie. Oh my freaking God, man. I'm just like, just watching him and watching him play and watching, like him with his team and how he won. It just blew my mind. It literally blew my mind. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. That was amazing. And then, back to the TCG side, watching them, I was kind of like in the middle of both, so I could actually see both. So, so back to the TCG side, seeing, Liam take it down with Tordzard. No, we're calling it Tordzard now. That's what the deck is. It's Tordzard. He just literally ran Tord's list and won the event with it. Card for card. It's like, this deck is good. The best player in the world is playing it. I'm just going to copy pasta and play it. And that's what happened. That is exactly what happened. And I was very happy he won. I was also very happy and shocked that Ancient Box got as far as it did, getting second place. This week, before I even went to Orlando Regionals, I had put together my own Ancient Box list. I put together my own Ancient Box list. This is Gabriel and Vinny Fernandez's list from EUIC. And I was just like, this is actually, somewhat of a decent deck. And it was so easy to build. This deck was so easy to build and so cheap to build. I built this deck out of nothing. Out of nothing. Like, I went to like 2 to 3 pre-releases, and I had most of the cards. Most of the Ancient Box cards. And I got like maybe like 2 ETBs. And that's it. And a couple of packs. And I had the cards. Built this deck out of nothing. Even the Awakening Drum was so cheap. It was like $2. Like $2, less than $2 now. But it's a fun deck. It's a great deck, and it did so well. It got second place at Orlando. Second place. I mean, that's not too shabby. Even though it just could not beat Zard. This deck cannot beat Zard. It cannot. This version of it cannot beat Zard. Now there is a version with a Cobalion in the deck that basically makes your attacks do 30 more damage against dark type Pokemon. That helps. That helps. But you're not guaranteed to win against Zard. Even then. You know, but this still is a fantastic deck. And I'm actually so glad I kind of built it. I almost went with this for the event. Because I really didn't want to play, like, I was like, am I really going to play Unga Bunga Zard? You know, I mean, it's the best deck, and it was really good, and my techs were good in it. So, you know, I almost played that. So, again, I would have been right on track, with what people were thinking of playing, or what people were thinking were good, So, I know what I'm doing. I know that, that I can get there. I know that I have the potential to be a great player. I mean, I have years and years and years of experience, and I've played in just about every single format that the Pokemon TCG has had. I've played in literally every single format. I've seen the Seismitoads, I've seen the Zekrons, I've seen the Manitons, the Reshibors. I've played against the old Pidgeot Quick Searches, the Claydolls, the Uxies, the Shaymin EXs. I've literally played in just about every single format. So, so I have a lot of experience, a lot of experience that I've learned, just by, how do I want to say it? I learned on the fly. I learned by instinct. I learned by just playing and learning and soaking up this knowledge. I didn't have a coach. I never had a coach. I never had anyone like give me advice or anything. I learned all this on my own, reading articles, YouTube videos, looking at lists, PokeGym, 6 prizes, any site that I could gain information from, I did. And now I'm here. And now that I've accomplished Making Day 2, I'm going to strive to go even further. Now that I know that I can get there, I'm going to get there. So y'all better watch out. I know I've been talking for a long time, but I really just wanted to talk about my experience and everything. I really didn't want to do a deck profile or anything because I've already shared my deck list on Twitter and everything like that. So if you want to see my deck list or whatever, go check out my Twitter. Look up Sammy Ketchum or Sammy Sendo, at Sammy Sendo, or just look up Sammy Ketchum and you'll find me. But I posted my stuff all on Facebook, Instagram, etc. Go check that out. But yeah, it was a hell of a weekend. And I am so happy. I'm so glad I wore that Charizard costume, and it made me happy. It made everybody else happy. I just absolutely loved it. But I'm gonna stop talking now. And in this video, All right, guys. If you like what you see, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, make sure you take care of yourself and each other. Thank you.